Hello, welcome to Newscentre. I'm Parikshit Luthra. A big boost to Make in India in the defence sector. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez today inaugurated the Tata aircraft complex for manufacturing the C295 aircraft in Vadodara. This means that this crucial military support aircraft used by the Indian Air Force will now be made in India. This tactical support aircraft can carry up to 10 tons of goods. It can transport 71 troops and has been used during the COVID-19 crisis to transfer material from one destination to another. It has been used in disaster missions, rescue and relief missions as well, also for maritime patrol purposes. The C295 program is a collaboration between Tata Advanced Systems Limited and Airbus Defence based in Spain. The Indian Ministry of Defence had given a contract for supply of 56 aircraft to Spain in September 2021, a contract valued at $2.5 billion. Out of these, Airbus has to deliver 16 aircraft in flyaway condition from its assembly line in Spain. Since September 2023, 6 aircraft have already been delivered to the Indian Air Force. Tata Advanced Systems Limited is the Indian contract manufacturer and will make 40 out of 56 aircraft as part of the industrial partnership with Airbus. The first Made in India C295 will be rolled out of the Tata aircraft complex in 2026. Now, why is this important for India? This is the first Make in India project in aerospace in the private sector involving full development of a complete industrial ecosystem from manufacturing to assembly to test to qualification to delivery and maintenance of the complete life cycle of the aircraft. India's leading defence PSUs like Bharat Electronics, Bharat Dynamics and MSMEs will also supply components for the program. More than 18,000 parts will be made in India, 3,000 plus people will get direct employment and 15,000 will benefit from indirect employment. The Tata Group, which operates the main constituent assembly in Hyderabad, will ship the parts to Vadodara for final assembly. The government is considering ordering future variants of the C295 for the Navy and the Coast Guard. Prime Minister Modi said that this project reinforces India's position as a trusted partner in global aerospace manufacturing. The PM also paid a tribute to the late Ratan Tata, who had conceived this project way back in 2012. Narendra Modi also expressed confidence that the C295 aircraft made at the Tata-Airbus facility would be exported in the future.
आज से हम भारत और स्पेन की पार्टनरशिप को नई दिशा दे रहे हैं। हम C295 ट्रांसपोर्ट एयरक्राफ्ट के प्रोडक्शन की फैक्ट्री का शुभारंभ कर रहे हैं। ये फैक्ट्री भारत स्पेन संबंधों को मजबूती देने के साथ ही मेक इन इंडिया, मेक फॉर द वर्ल्ड इस मिशन को भी सशक्त करने वाली है।
The C295 India program is not only about delivering essential capability to the Indian Air Force. It is also demonstrating Airbus's and Tata's joint capacity and commitment to India. The Make in India C295 program has become an industrial benchmark, which is aligned to the Prime Minister Modi's vision of self-reliance or Atma Nirbharat Bharat.
We're now joined by Defence Secretary Girdhar Ramne. Mr. Ramne, thank you for joining us on the show. My first question, what is the exact collaboration between TASL and Airbus for the program? How much of the aircraft will be imported from Spain and how much will be manufactured and assembled here in India?
This particular project is a major step towards the self-reliance in India, especially in aerospace sector. This is one sector where we were lagging behind for a long time. This project will ensure that we pick up on that sector also and reach the level of self-reliance where we are in other sectors. This particular aircraft is a tactical airlift. This particular aircraft is tactical airlift aircraft, and we have ordered 56 of them from Airbus, and 40 of them will be made in India, by Tata Advanced Systems Limited. 16 we will be importing from Spain in a flyaway condition. But almost all the aircraft will have certain important equipment made in India. That way, Made in India efforts are going to fructify in a major fashion in this project, especially the electronics, the electronic warfare, etc., systems, etc., will be made in India for all the 56 aircraft. This project will be worth.
Yeah, that is important, sir. You're saying the electronic warfare component will be manufactured in India. So this will be for all 56. But out of the 40 that will be made here, what will be the imported content and what will be the Indian indigenous content, if you can give us the percentage?
For the first 16 aircraft which we will import, there also we got substantive indigenous content. It will be almost 48%. But for the remaining 40, it will be 75%, which will be made in India. This will be a huge boost to the domestic ecosystem. In fact, the aerospace ecosystem will get a major boost because of this, as the MSMEs and other supply chain components will get the necessary infrastructure to supply for this project, thereby their ability to supply for other projects, other aircraft projects also will be enhanced. I am confident that the supply chain within the country will rise to such a situation that other major aircraft manufacturers will also be able to procure from the MSMEs and other vendors which are developed under this project. Already we are part of the global aerospace supply chain. Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Airbus are procuring from India in a major fashion. I am confident that this project also will boost the manufacturing sector in India like other similar projects in the past.
So in terms of technology transfer, what is the extent of technology transfer that Tatas will get as a result to manufacture in India? And what is the quantum of investment that is coming into India and that is going into manufacturing these planes?
Actually, the manufacturing of 75% of the aircraft will be done in India. That way, the manufacturing technology will be available to Tatas in a major fashion. 75% of the entire equipment, except the avionics and the engine part, almost everything will be made in India. That will be a great boost, whether for the aero component or the electronics component. It will be a major boost. I am confident that this manufacturing being developed this way will ensure that the future aircraft, the same C295, if you order more from them, they will be able to increase the domestic content to a higher level. Did I answer your answer fully?
Yes, sir. How will these 56 aircraft and domestic manufacturing of the same boost our defense preparedness across our borders and also domestic capabilities?
This is, as I told you, a tactical airlift aircraft for swift movement of our troops, etc. This will be highly useful. This transport aircraft can do multiple functions for transporting the people and material. So in a way, our borders can be resupplied and kept in the good condition of stores and inventory because of this aircraft. And also because of their reliability and very good maintainability, their availability will be so high that at no time our forces will feel deprived of the necessary supply chain.
Right. What is the kind of investment that this project will bring into India?
This project costs around 21,000 crores. I'm hopeful that it will plow back at least 60 to 70% of that into India, either by way of manufacturing here or by way of the labor in the vendors and other service sector components of this project.
What is the royalty payment mechanism that has been reached, sir? What is the royalty that we will be paying to Airbus?
This is a project, straightaway procurement project. We are paying them 21,935 crores. So for that, they will be supplying us 56 aircraft. So among the 56 aircraft, they will manufacture 40 aircraft in India, which means that Tata and Airbus have entered into agreement to spend a lot of money in India by way of the wages, by way of procurement of components, assemblies, sub-assemblies, etc. That way, government does not pay any royalty to Airbus. Government only procures these things from Airbus company by way of manufacturing by our own company.
Right, but Tata's would be into a royalty mechanism with Airbus. Would that be correct to assume?
Tata's will have a licensed production agreement with them. That is for them to decide. Government plays very little role in that. It's a commercial decision by Tata's and Airbus.
Right. How many defense PSUs and MSMEs will benefit from the supply chain of the C295 aircraft?
As I told you, except avionics and engine, almost all the parts are being made in India. While the final and pre-final assembly line will be established by Tata's, many of the components, assemblies, sub-assemblies will be manufactured by the MSMEs and other companies in the country. EPSUs, BEL and BDL will be supplying the electronic warfare systems, while more than 200 MSMEs will be involved in this project, which can supply to Tata's all the components and other services required.
Time for a short break, but don't go anywhere. This conversation with Girdhar Aramane, the Defence Secretary of India, continues on the other side, not just on the inauguration of the C295 manufacturing facility, but also on the other push for self-reliance in defence. Watching Newscentre, I still have with me Defence Secretary Girdhar Aramane. Mr. Aramane, my question to you, the press statement from the government says that by 2031, the 56th aircraft will be delivered. So can we assume that all the 40 aircraft will be manufactured locally, will be delivered within that time frame? Is there any deadline?
This project happened quite fast. In fact, in 2022, October, the foundation stone was laid for the project. And we are in October 2024, already the pre-final assembly line is ready. final assembly line will also be ready in a few months. So that shows the swiftness with which both Airbus and Tatas have acted and the way government have facilitated the entire effort. That way, the supply also has been very prompt. We already have 6 aircraft in our inventory. And by next August, all 16 which have to come in flyaway condition will be with us. And 26 to 2031, all the remaining 40 will be supplied. So by 2031, we will have all the ordered aircraft. This is a very efficient and very quick kind of a project which India has undertaken.
What is the current stage of discussions for ordering this aircraft for the Navy, for the Coast Guard, other wings of the armed forces?
We are having a lot of deliberations on how to procure various types of aircraft. There is a need for reconnaissance aircraft. There is a need for fighter aircraft. We also have a need for helicopters of various kinds. Government of India has announced in December 2021 that we will not import large systems just like that. We need to manufacture them in India. So Prime Minister has in 2021 December said that if any import has to be made, it has to be a specific exemption from the competent authority. Without that, it cannot be imported. So which has put a lid on large-scale imports from foreign countries. So whether it's helicopter or fighter aircraft or transport aircraft, they have to basically plan for manufacturing in India. In that light, HAL has already started discussions with Safran for manufacturing the engine for the IMRH and also IMRH helicopter. And we are also having ADA, Aeronautical Development Agency, working on the AMCA, the medium combat aircraft. That way, all our needs shall be fulfilled by our domestic industry. That's the aim and aspiration of the government. The Prime Minister has been reiterating this point again and again. This has built-in confidence in the defense industry in India, as you have been seeing in the share prices of these companies. There is a very great confidence imposed by shareholders in the defense sector in India. And that confidence is primarily due to government's resolve not to import left, right, and center and concentrate on getting as much technology and as much manufacturing into India as possible. The best option will be to develop on our own. That is India design, development, and manufacturing. In case it becomes very difficult to get hold of the technology within our country, we should be able to get the technology transfer to a large extent, the know-how and know-why both, and then manufacture. The third option will be manufacturing in India. So all three will be in certain way beneficial to the country. So government's main thrust will be on IDDM, India Design, Development and Manufacture. We have been encouraging private sector and public sector also to build capacities for doing the research and development. We have the new programs like IDEX and Aditi, where we give grants for the development of new systems. And we are willing to subsidize these developments in a major way. Similarly, the manufacturing sector also has benefited a lot. The ease of doing business has brought in licensing relaxations. And we also have quality assurance reforms carried out in a major way during last few years. So all these will go to help the industry to build capacity to manufacture helicopters for the three forces, the combat helicopter or utility helicopter or the multi-role helicopter. All these three things are in discussions at various stages. Similarly, the medium transport aircraft for the civil aviation and the fighter aircraft for Indian Air Force. These are also under various stages of discussion. When all these things happen in India, I think India will become a major force in the aerospace sector.
Right.
Aircraft
So I would also
manufacturing.
like to ask you about C295 exports. This is something that the Prime Minister hinted at. When do you think India can begin C295 exports?
This will be a great possibility for India. As I explained, if 75% of the manufacturing can be done in India, India can negotiate, Tatas can negotiate with Airbus that we can be your licensed production agents for other countries also in this region. We will be the cheaper than other countries in the manufacturing activities. So we will definitely have an advantage in manufacturing the C295 aircraft when compared to other countries. So exports are a definite possibility. Once our requirement is met fully, I think we can concentrate on the exports. And meanwhile, if we get interest from some other countries, we can even expand the assembly line capacity and start working on exporting these simultaneously.
Right. So you're saying that the possibility of exporting to other nations in the region, are you talking about only India's neighborhood, Southeast Asia, Indo-Pacific?
This can be anywhere in the world. This technology is very good. It's, of course, the Airbus has come up with some other model already, but still, many countries like India will be interested in procuring this aircraft, not only in the neighborhood, but say in Latin America and also in Africa. This aircraft will be versatile in terms of the transport requirements of those countries.
Right.
So there is a possibility of worldwide export also. But this, not only the aircraft as a whole, but the component manufacturing can really boost our exports in a major way. Suppose we can export various components and sub-assemblies to whoever is manufacturing this aircraft. It's almost like exporting 50% of the aircraft. That way, benefit will be there this way or that way. You can either export the assembled aircraft or the components.
Yeah.
In the medium term, I am looking for a large-scale expansion of the SMEs and vendors within the country to become part of the global vendor chain of these companies.
Right. So speaking about other joint manufacturing projects that India could soon announce, could you give us a sense of certain projects which are now in the final stages?
One project HAL has been working is on IMRH, the Safran engines and the airframe. They are talking to various players. The second project we are already working is K9 Vajra. We have already procured several of them with South Korea. So we may get several more of them. Like that, we have several projects going on right now with several other countries. But we are not satisfied with getting technology from outside. We want our own design to be developed in India and manufactured. That will be the ideal. If I always get technology from outside and start doing the manufacturing here, my control over the entire production will be very limited.
Right.
So our quest is to ensure that Indian manufacturing grows to a stage where we can manufacture major systems like aircraft, submarines, frigates, and main battle tanks in India entirely on our own technology. This is our quest in the.
So speaking about the GHAL deal, this was a very important deal for our fighter ecosystem. What is the progress? What has been the delay in starting joint manufacturing of these engines in India?
There is no delay in the manufacturing process. All the agreements have been done. Now the commercials are being worked out between the stakeholders, that is GE and HAL. So once the commercials are finalized, then the construction of the factory will start. I don't see any scope for any further delay in this.
When do you expect the construction of the factory to begin, sir?
Ideally, in the next 6 months, we should have foundation stone for this factory.
Right. The progress on joint manufacturing of land warfare systems that we were discussing with the United States, where are we with those discussions?
They are at the preliminary stage. We need the systems which match our requirements. So if we have to purchase, Government of India and Indian Army have to purchase, they have to suit our requirements. That will take some time. We'll arrive at some conclusion after our requirements have been closed with the American counterparts. But more interest is in actually manufacturing for other countries. The land warfare systems are in great demand throughout the world. If we can co-develop and co-manufacture systems for other countries from India, that will be a great boost to our defense ecosystem. So our concentration will be on that. US also is not forcing us to buy too many of their equipment. Original plan is to co-produce for other countries.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of News Center. More news and updates continue right here on CNBC-TV18.